Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy coming at you with another fragrance review. If you're following my channel, you know I'm working on the Amouage library collection. There you go. And in it, I'm working through Opus 1 through 10, and it's my turn to take a look at Opus 7. Opus 7. And there you have it. Just as you can see, too, just a little bit, just enough left for this review. Wore this yesterday. And this one evokes a very specific image that I will discuss in just a second. But before, I want to apologize if you notice my voice is a little raspy. I've actually been laid up for about 2 days with a pretty good cold. So between sleeping and going straight to work and coming back and going straight to bed and then drinking lots of fluids, I've been sick for the last 2 days. And then this morning I woke up feeling better. And you know what? I just enjoy doing these so much that I really wanted to do Opus 7 today. And I hope you don't mind that my voice is just a little raspy. So with that by the boards, Opus 7. Let's take a look at the description for Opus 7. You know, in the library collection, they give a description for each one. And I like to read them to see if it really captures what this fragrance is all about. Okay, Opus 7, Eau de Parfum, 100 milliliters. Opus 7 is a green, woody, and leather fragrance evoking the juxtaposition of harmony with intensity of recklessness. Whoa. I'm assuming the harmony is more of the green and the wood than being out in the forest. And the recklessness is you're walking in a forest hiking with a leather jacket. Okay, that's what I'm assuming. Now, top note, I want you to take a look at these notes here. The top notes are galbanum, pink pepper, cardamom, nutmeg, and fenugreek. And the heart is agar wood, which is also oud, smoke. So it's not just oud or agar wood. It's oud smoke. Patchouli, ambrox. I thought it was ambroxan, but it's ambrox, leather, and ambergris. The base is costus root, muscone, sandalwood, olibanum, and cypriol. So I feel like I'm in a spelling bee, okay? So for the final round, give us olibanum, followed by cypriol. Okay, so very hard to pronounce. You know what, sometimes I'll say things like, well, I'm not sure what this note is. There's a lot going on here. I'm not sure what these are. You know what I decided to do? I decided to look up some of these because this is a very difficult fragrance to describe in terms of notes, and it's an easy one to describe in terms of an overall feel. So what I mean by that is this is a church incense. So I actually thought this fragrance had worn off, but I was teaching a night class. And so I'm a professor, and I was teaching a night class, and a student came up after class and asked if this had some sort of church, incense feel to it. And boy, did he hit the nail on the head, because Opus 7 reminds me of a Catholic Mass, a Christian Orthodox Mass, a service. Okay, so some sort of just imagine walking into a church and smelling incense. And I think you will get this. And so when I looked at the notes originally, I thought leather. I'm just not really getting much of this when you read the notes. And so I decided to look up two. And I'm so glad I did, and I'm going to have a cheat sheet here because these are new to me. Now, what I really get from this fragrance, though, if you want the note breakdown, is cypriol. And I'll be discussing that in a minute. Galbanum. And then we get to ones you might recognize. Okay, you do get some leather as this evolves over time. So around the 4 to 5 hour mark, I do pick up more leather. I definitely get nutmeg. Nutmeg works very well on my skin, and I picked that up as soon as I smelled this fragrance. Fenugreek, no doubt, and then the oud smoke. And there's definitely some patchouli here. And so let's look at the two that I wasn't personally familiar with. You'll have to excuse me, maybe you were. But the galbanum, and what I like about this description, it says it's earthy it's a bitter aromatic gum resin. And so I think what's important here is galbanum gives you the green quality of this fragrance, but it also gives the earthy or forest-like fragrance note, almost like our friend Figment Man, because you know this is green, but this is a very, very, very dark green. So galbanum is definitely there. And then I looked up cypriol too because I was so curious, and this is the description I found that I liked. A hybrid between cedar, vetiver, and patchouli, with fleeting touches of cinnamon and frankincense, giving this a churchy feel. And so again, you can see how galbanum and cypriol really dominate in this fragrance because, like I said, this is really just walking into a church. I just don't get so much of the leather. I really don't, other than, of course, later on in the game. But even then, I think the patchouli reigns. Overall, this is a very unique fragrance. It is a dark green fragrance. And I would say that if there's one critique I have of it, I seriously cannot believe that cumin is not listed here because I really pick up, it must be the blend of these notes because I really, really, really pick up cumin. In fact, I would say that one thing that I don't care for this fragrance is it does have this kind of green on one hand mixed with an armpit smell. So the cumin and patchouli, although cumin's not listed, but the cumin patchouli notes do give this, they do give it kind of an armpit smell that I'm not terribly fond of. It is quite sharp and very distinct. So again, dark green, there you go. But I want, just besides giving you the notes, I wanted to kind of describe them so that we kind of see how this plays out. I don't know that this is not a leathery fragrance for me at all. Over time, that's how this fragrance evolves, going from green to a darker fragrance with the frankincense and the oud and the leather. So if you like a fragrance that will evolve over time, you will like this one. This is not a linear fragrance. The notes are quite sharp, though. So I think this is a kind of a fork in the road. You either really, really like this one, or you know, might be more of a pass for you. So keep that in mind. I also wanted to say real quick, though, if you're looking for, you know, Amouages are very, very expensive. So we're looking at, you know, maybe around $300 through their site, maybe 180 to 200 discounted, and that's not cheap. So if you're looking for something, I just out of my own collection I had, if you're looking for a dark green fragrance that you really, really like, I have to tell you, for you know, sometimes at TJ Maxx you can see this for $25, $30 for a I think this is a 3.3 ounce, 100 milliliter. But either way, this is Encre Noire is just a fantastic scent. And I'm not saying it smells just like it. It does not. But if you're looking for that classification of a darker green and you're on a limited budget, Encre Noire means black ink in French. And and it smells very, very much like this with some cypress in it. And this is another one. So, but for, you know, maybe, what, 1/10 of the price, you'll be able to get something that you like. So I just want to throw that in real quick. I will be doing a review on this one. Very much a thumbs up for me. Absolutely love this fragrance. In fact, I kind of like it a little bit more than this one just because it has the dark green qualities, but it doesn't have the harsh patchouli and kind of cumin notes that gives it that armpit smell. This is just dark, and so fantastic job here. The perfumiers behind this are Pierre Negrin, which is Negrin. So for the French speakers, you'll have to excuse me. I think it's Negrin. I don't know, but Negrin and Alberto Morillas, my favorite perfumier, and who did Acqua di Gio. And so two heavy hitters on this one. And so I feel a little bit bad by saying that it's not absolutely my favorite one because the noses or the perfumiers behind this are absolutely top notch and heavy hitters. As far as the gender, you know that the library collection are for men and women. I would say this does, because of the darker quality, I do see this as a more masculine fragrance. If we saw a continuum, and if we had feminine here, unisex here, and masculine here, I think it would be just slightly tilted toward masculine. You guys know the deal, though. That's not to say that a woman couldn't wear it, etc., etc. But that's just more in terms of marketing. I know they say for either, but I would imagine this more as a masculine scent, without the shadow of a doubt. I also wanted to give a shout out to as Ouch 110 is his name. He's an Englishman who reviews. He's reviewed, I think, all 10 of on the Opus, the library collection, and he pointed out something. I was just watching his video right before I did this, and he pointed out something that I hadn't noticed, which is 7 is not the other. The first 6 were more floral, and this one is kind of the first non-floral. So I just wanted to throw that out. A little bit different vibe here for Opus 7, kind of a change of gears. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. I like his episodes. He usually has a canary or a parakeet in the background, and that gives it makes it kind of fun. And he's from, I'm not sure, but his where he's from exactly, but his accent looks to be Southern England. So I'm gonna go with Southern England, even though I don't know exactly where he's from. But I really enjoy his reviews. He's done all the Opus, I think, and his favorite is Opus 9. He said, so I'll have to take a look at that. But shout out to Ouch 110. Check out his videos. Okay, so let's get going now. As far as the season, this is because it's darker. This is a more of a late fall, winter fragrance. I have to tell you, on Fragrantica, they said the longevity was off the charts for this one, and I didn't think it was. But then when that one student came up to me after class and asked about it, I had been wearing it all day, and I thought it was gone, and he picked it up. So I'm gonna have to say, I was originally going to say 6 to 8 hours on this, but apparently it's more. So it's somewhere between 6 and 10. How's that? It's certainly not beast mode, but it's not fleeting either. So let's just go ahead and split the difference and say you will get a full work shift out of this. This is an 8-hour fragrance, no doubt. What I would say, though, it does stick a little bit closer to the skin. It does stay within an arm's length if you do 2 to 3 sprays. Like, for example, maybe 1 on each wrist and then 1 on the chest, something like that. If you spray this on your clothes, you're going to get more, but I usually don't. So I would say, yeah, 8 hours. It lasts possibly more if you do more sprays, of course, but it doesn't actually clear out a room. It's quite nice in the sense that it stays within an arm's length, generally speaking. But be careful with it, though, if you wore this during the day. I don't see this as a night fragrance, but I would say that if you wore this to the office, you'd want to keep this to 2 or 3 sprays. I think the mistake I made that last time when I wore it to work was, if I remember correctly, you can see it's almost gone. I'm pretty sure I wore like 4 or 5 sprays, and so that's probably why it got picked up. So if you wear this to the office, why don't we say 2 to 3 max? And if you wore this out at night into a formal event, you would want to go, you could go more than that, 4 to 5 would be fine. Okay, so typical Amouage in terms of longevity. It's a little bit more toned down, though, as far as projection as compared to the other Opus fragrances. Okay, so overall, I want to say that the perfumiers are absolute all-stars on this. You guys know I love the Amouage house. I appreciate the notes in this. But I do admit that the very sharp notes that I'm picking up of almost like a cumin scent or patchouli are a little bit too much for me, and therefore I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. The armpit smell is a little off-putting for me. However, the originality factor is up. The fact that it smells very much like incense, church incense, I do appreciate that a lot. I wish it had more of that and a little bit less of the kind of earthy qualities to this that are a little off-putting. Overall, I'm going to split the difference then and say 3 out of 5. And I would include this. If you watch my channel, you know 1 or 2 sprays out of 5 means I'm not going to keep it in my collection. 3 is kind of the middle ground where I could or could not. Could be a one and done, or I could absolutely add it to my collection. 4 and 5 mean I would add it to my collection, or if I already have it, then I would keep getting it. 3 out of 5, I'm going to add this one to my collection just because it is an Amouage. This would be the kind of one I would get if I saw at the right price. This would be lower on my radar as far as my ranking of Amouages. I still like it, but it'd have to be something that I would absolutely have to get it at the right price, and I would wait until then. So I would get it, but I wouldn't go get it tomorrow. So it's kind of a meh. It's pretty close to that for Amouage for me. And we're going to go 3 out of 5. So let me go 1 on each wrist and 1 on the sporting hoodie. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there you have it, guys. Opus VII, a green blast initially, followed by darker qualities like leather and oud and frankincense that come to the forefront. So you should think walking into a church, think Christian Orthodox, think Catholic Mass, this blast of incense, and oh, by the way, you're doing it wearing leather. So, there you have it. Okay, there you have it, guys. Opus 7 by the boards. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Really appreciate your patience as I kind of rambled through some things with my cold here. I had, besides the cough and the stuffed up nose and having no voice yesterday, I did the best I could. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you. I just enjoy these so much that I didn't want to put this off any longer. So I wish you a happy weekend, and if you're watching this later, have a great day. Always appreciate the feedback, your comments. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so as soon as I upload these videos, you are notified. And we have, since the last episode, I got another subscriber. So that means I get to say, I don't know if I can sing this time just because my voice is just about ready to go, but I will say, welcome to the Cologne crew. There you go. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you have any friends that you know would be interested in these kinds of reviews, please pass these along. Tell everyone you know to subscribe. As you know, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers because then I get my own URL. So thank you so much. Take care of yourself. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care. Excuse me, 4 or 5 sprays on this. It does evolve over time, and I think it gets less green and more of the leather and the frankincense as time goes on, without a doubt. And for that sense, you know, I would say over time, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there you have it. There's another review by the boards. Thanks so much, and I appreciate putting up with my cold. Appreciate your patience on this. Even I knew that I wouldn't be able to.